Meri just sat down with Rachel Uchitel for an interview on Rachel's podcast called Misunderstood. I've seen a lot of feedback about this interview, and the overall consensus is that it was kind of a nothing burger. Some people say boring. No shocking bombshells were dropped, but I do think that there were subtle and important revelations made by Meri during this chat. We have a lot to talk about. Let's get into today's video. Hey everyone, what's up? It's Sarah and welcome back to my channel. A simple fact that I've come to terms with is that the real tea about the Brown family is not going to spill until the show is over. Cody and his wives, most of them now his ex-wives, and even his children who aren't getting paid by the show are making sure to protect the family's paycheck at all costs. So I think we have to keep in mind that any revelations made by the family while they are still in contract are not going to be earth-shattering. However, there is a lot that gets revealed during these interviews that comes forth in subtle ways, stuff that contradicts the narrative put forth on the show quite a bit. The first subtle yet important revelation that was made was when Meri disclosed this to Rachel about Cody's schedule before Robin entered the rotation.
And then again, just like for the technical aspect, he might go to your house for 2 days because you knew that Tuesday to Thursday he was with you, or did it always just switch?
Oh, I never knew.
Okay.
Sometimes I knew. Sometimes I didn't. Sometimes the morning of, he'd be like, oh, hey, I'm coming over. Let's go to dinner.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Maybe I'm naive, but I have been under the impression that Cody was fairly equal with his division of time before Robin came into the family. I know that they moved around a lot, and Meri even talks about that in this interview, but they lived in that Lehigh house for a while. And you're telling me, even when Cody was in the same literal house, he still didn't keep to a schedule? It would seem like the easiest and most fair thing to do would be to keep a schedule, some sort of rotation that all the wives could agree to. In the HBO show Big Love, it's actually the wives who set the schedule. They just told Bill where to go and when to be there. If Cody is just making his mind up on a day-to-day basis when his decisions are of course subject to change, let's say he's arguing with one wife, how could the perception of favoritism not leak through? If I'm Cody and I don't have a set schedule and I'm fighting with Meri, then maybe I skip Meri for a couple days. Meri can't get upset about it because there's not a set schedule. But if Mondays are Meri's Mondays and Cody absconds from a standing obligation, then he would look like he wasn't holding up his end of this sacred covenant. So for Cody, best to keep things really informal so no wife can hold him accountable for his many, many failures as a husband and father. The next revelation Meri made during this interview that I wanted to talk about was this moment when she talks about that dreaded human emotion, jealousy.
So when each of them came in the family, like there was definitely emotions.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's like, wait a second, there's this man that I love and care about,
Mm-hmm.
and he's showing affection to somebody else.
Right.
And I'm like, wait a second, am I as important?
Right.
You know, so there's definitely those feelings.
How could
and
you not
emotions.
think that? Yeah.
Right. Well, I thought that I was bad.
Right.
I thought that I was bad for feeling those things.
But
Meri says she thought that she was bad for feeling the feelings of jealousy. That is a heavy statement. I have yet to hear a woman who has been part of Mormon fundamental polygamy assert that she has never felt jealous. They all feel jealous. For a person to feel like they were bad, to feel what I interpret as a pretty instinctual human feeling, seems incredibly toxic. Something that I've learned through years of therapy is that our feelings are all part of our quest for self-preservation, right? Sometimes the signals get crossed, shout out to my fellow OCD sufferers, but typically we feel emotions as a way to keep ourselves safe. You feel scared, get out of that situation. You feel angry, get out of that situation. You feel jealous, get out of that situation. It seems like Mormon fundamental polygamy stands into direct contrast to our own innate longing for self-preservation. I am bad because I don't want my husband to sleep with another woman. Wow. Then there was this part of the interview where Meri got real weird and vague when discussing the Brown family's church.
Yeah.
And for people that don't know much about the religion that you guys followed, what was that religion?
It was does it really even have a name? I don't know that it has the religion has a name. It's just people who believe in God, and we have the same beliefs, and we have like a head of the church and leadership. And
But I mean, do they read? Is it you read the Bible? It's like is that the kind of thing that's happening in church?
Read the Bible, read the Book of Mormon, which is a LDS text.
Right.
Yeah.
It doesn't really have a name. It sure as shit does. The denomination they belong to is the AUB, the Apostolic United Brethren. Your sister wife, Christine, is from the founder's lineage. Why are you playing coy here? This isn't exactly a secret. But the AUB is controversial, and it continues to get entangled in new controversies to this very day. So it makes sense. You got to put as much distance between your family and the church for the sake of the show. And keep this in mind. The only wife that says she has left the faith is Christine. She's the only one that will go as far as to call herself divorced. I think that this is important to note when considering what these adults may or may not believe in as far as the ideologies that the AUB preaches. Meri did go on to talk a little bit about how Janelle was married to her brother, which does not get talked about on the show much, if at all.
So did you like Janelle because she was coming off of divorcing your brother? Was there any loyalty there that you were like, wait a minute?
It took a minute for me to get my head wrapped around it.
And was your brother like, no way, you're not going to hang out with this chick?
I mean, the whole thing was
a lot
interesting. I
love how
there is
political you're
there is
correct
emotions. Let's just say there is emotions.
But were you able to work through that, or was that always difficult?
No, I think I was able to work through it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I dare say this might be the most tea we've ever gotten about how Meri felt about Janelle, her ex-sister-in-law becoming her very first sister wife. We know that Meri and Janelle had a contentious relationship for years. They talk about that in the book, but they only ever allude to it on the show. I think my husband marrying my brother's ex-wife as his second wife was sure as shit pissed me off, even if I was all systems go on plural marriage. That is messy as fuck. The final revelation that Meri made that I wanted to talk about in this video was when she was asked about how the dynamics in the family changed once they went public.
Did it change the dynamic at home?
I don't know what changed the dynamic at home to bring us to where we are now.
Yeah.
People ask that often. Do you think it was the show going public, or was it a particular person,
right,
or people, or time that has passed?
Yeah.
At this point, the family has been public for 14, I don't know, maybe 15 years. I'm not sure of the exact date. Something that we've long discussed is what is the cause of the breakdown of this family? Because this family functioned, however dysfunctionally, we'll never know. Or maybe we will when people start spilling the tea. Wink, wink, standing invitation for any member of the Brown family to come on this channel for a chat if the mood should ever strike you. But I digress. This family, I mean, I don't know about the adults and where their marriages were at, but all of the kids have talked about Lehigh as being one of the best, most ideal living situations they had. They loved living with their brothers and sisters and being able to live as one family, more or less. So was it the show, or was it, as Meri says, a certain someone to blame for the downfall of this family? I don't know if Meri and the rest of Cody's ex-wives would be keen to bite the hand that still feeds them by saying going public was to blame. And to be honest, I really don't think going public was any more detrimental to their family structure than literal plural marriage was. I think we all know the certain someone behind the downfall of this family. Personally, I love seeing non-TLC produced content from the Sister Wives, and I'll continue to watch them. Yeah, it's not exactly bombshell tea, but that's okay. I like that Meri appears to be happy and content where she is at in life, so even if nobody else does, it looks like Meri has worthied up. Let me know your thoughts on this interview. If you haven't caught it yet, I will link the full interview in the description of this video. Make sure you like this video and subscribe to my channel. Check out my second channel, Sarah Spills. A link for that will be in the description of this video. Follow me on Instagram, Threads, and X at Reality Squad, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Take care. Have a good one. Much love.